So do you wake up and you're like, okay, you look at charts, you look at volume, you look at, you map all the patterns out. And then at that point, then you're looking at the news and then you're trying to like gauge or how much research do you put in before the half hour of actual?
Yeah. So with trading, you could trade a lot of different things. So I specifically trade options, and with options, you want to trade what are called like large caps. So like your Tesla, blue chips essentially.
Yeah,
Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Google's, all those, right? And you want to trade stuff with a lot of interest. So interest, essentially volume, right? Before 2022, I used to trade what was called small caps and primarily like biotech. So with those, you have to scan the whole market and you have to use like a filter to kind of find things that meet your criteria. And maybe out of like 1,000 stocks, you find 100. And then from that 100, you filter it down to further criteria and find maybe 20. Now of those 20, you're analyzing and you're looking, and of those 20, maybe only 2 play out. So it's like, it was very tedious. So now what I do, and again, this is progression of learning, right? Because most people do that. Now what I do is just trade options where I only focus on 2 main things: the S&P 500, which is SPY, and Tesla, TSLA. That is it. So like if going back to here, what are the 2 symbols you see?
Yeah, Tesla and SPY.
Tesla and SPY.
Yeah.
And I made $4,000 on Tesla and I lost $2,000 on SPY today.
Yeah.
And so I just focus on those 2. So now it's just like in real estate. I could wholesale, I could flip, I could do the ADU thing, I could do commercial, I could do Airbnb, right? Yeah. There's so many different varieties of stuff I can do. But what at least the saying that I always go off of is fear the man that practices one kick 1,000 times versus the man that practices 1,000 different kicks once.
Yep.
Right? So when you start to narrow your focus, then you start to, and give it time, right? Like it's not going to be successful right away. Like the ADU thing wasn't successful right away.
Yeah.
You know, you have to put in the time and kind of master, okay, all right, this deal, it's a good deal. This deal isn't a good deal, right? It's the same thing with trading and finding where you have your edge to set up, again, the 2 factors, high probability setup and then mitigate risk. And once I know the math, and it's just like real estate, if I know the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
I just reverse calculate. Okay, I'm going to make 20% off this deal. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Right? Easy, right? Versus like, how much does this cost have? Okay, maybe I can make, if I can reverse engineer it, then it makes it so much simpler. So I've learned to reverse engineer trading where it makes it simple for me to mitigate my risk and go up the upside. So what the day looks like is I just analyze two charts, SPY and Tesla. I look at the year, the month, the week. I see where is the stock at in relation to the level. Am I below the level? Okay, if I'm below the level and I'm right at resistance, there's high probability we're probably going to go puts today and come down, right? And so I'll wait and kind of see what happens. And so each candle is about 5 minutes. And what those candles look like, just so you can see it for yourself here, is they look like this. So each of these increments are 5-minute increments. So I wait about 5 minutes to see, okay, am I going to be above the level or below the level today? If I'm above, then that level now just became my floor. I'm going to buy calls and write it up. If it stays below, it's my resistance. I'm going to buy puts, write it down. That simple.
Yeah.
And then I just mitigate my math, and that's all I do. So it really about half an hour before the morning starts is when I get up and I do all that. And then I use my math, my risk management essentially, to then protect my money. And then I take my trade. I do a live stream every morning with my members. We normally have like, at this point now, north of 1,000. And they could follow along with me as I trade or what have you. And if it's done correct, just like today, my first trade was a loss today.
Yeah.
And it went south. And then I took 2 positive trades afterwards. So then ended up $2,000.
Yeah.
Right? Where a lot of people that are beginners, they go so heavy in on that first trade, where if it's a loss, even if they took a second trade, they're not going to be able to mitigate or even come out positive, you know? So it really comes down to being disciplined and patient for being able to do this. And where a lot of people fall, it's not the strategy side or the risk management side. It's the one thing that I haven't talked about, just like in anything, it's the mental. And in the mental side for trading, where the downfall is ego, fear, and greed.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.